Hey guys, I'm Shane Smith here from Shane Smith Law. I'm here today with one of our attorneys here, Darian. Darian's had a great client victory. Now, we want to talk a little bit about this, and one thing in particular about this case we want to talk about that makes it interesting and unique and something our listeners may like to hear about. So we're going to talk about the damage to this car, okay? Now this case was, it was Casey's case. This was a client victory, but what's most important about this case to me is we got a great settlement, great issue. But tell me about the damage to this car. What was going on here? Because I know a lot of people, that's one of the first questions they ask is how bad did it look?
Yeah, absolutely. The damage to the vehicle visually just wasn't there. Maybe a dent in the rear of the truck. Rear end collision at a stoplight, 15 miles or less. Not very.
It didn't seem like much.
Correct.
I mean, now one of the stories I always tell when people talk to me about low priority, it's like, this was 5 miles per hour. This was only a 5 mile per hour collision. It makes me think back in college. Darren, did you ever see, I think it was an old college frat movie where the kids, they put their head down, they've been drinking, they put their head down and run into a wall?
Yeah.
What do we call that? Like drywall roulette or something like that? Because you're hoping there's no stud there, right?
Correct.
But, I mean, I don't know anybody who runs much faster than 5 miles per hour because that is a 12 mile per hour. I wouldn't want to put my head down and run into a wall at that speed.
Yeah, neither would I.
All right, but that's about a 5 mile per hour collision, right? You got the vehicle that goes 5 mile per hour, hits another vehicle, and at 15 mile per hour, that'd be a 4 minute mile, wouldn't it?
Correct.
So, I mean, how would you feel running at a 4 minute mile if you can? I can't run a 4 minute mile and running right into a wall.
I don't want to find out.
All right, I mean, it sounds painful though, right?
Correct.
But that's a 15 mile per hour collision, right? And that's what we think was the estimated damage here. Obviously, nobody knows because there was nobody with a radar detector right there, but that's estimated. And you said the damage to the truck was what? Mostly a dent in the bumper?
It's a dent in the bumper, the rear of the truck.
Okay. And obviously trucks are designed in such a way to take some hits and impacts,
Correct.
right? So visually it may not show a lot of damage, even damage to the trailer hitch, damage to the bumper, bend the bumper a little bit, all of that. None of that's visually striking, right? Where I look at it and say, wow, somebody could have died here.
Correct.
But that's what trucks are designed to do, right? To take a hit.
Yes, sir.
And in this case, they took the hit. All that force has to go somewhere. If it doesn't go into the bumper, it doesn't go into the back of the truck, it's got to go where?
To our clients and to the passengers to the vehicle. That's exactly what happened here.
All right. And how bad was Casey hurt?
Immediately right after the accident, she experienced neck, back, shoulder pain. She treated the chiropractor for about a month and just was not getting better.
Okay.
We had a good conversation about maybe seeing a specialist, orthopedic, to kind of really figure out what's going on with her injuries because, not getting better is not what we're in the business
of doing. And especially in cases like this where there's not a lot of visual damage, people are hesitant, right? They're like, I should be better. I should feel better. This doesn't seem like a big deal.
Right.
But she just didn't get better.
She didn't. We sent her to the orthopedic, ordered an MRI, and it turns out she had disc bulges in her L1 to L2 and disc herniations in her L3, L4.
Wow, so that was a pretty serious, that force just went right into her and pretty much screwed her up.
Correct.
Did she get better or how did those injuries go?
She got better eventually. She underwent some injections multiple times, found some relief there. Still has aches and pains, but for the most part, she's got a little better.
For the most part, she's back to living life, but obviously she's not the way she was.
She's not. It was a long process. She was a hard-working woman, construction, building fences, and missed a lot of time from work.
And my experiences in those kind of cases, when we've got hard labor jobs, the insurance company a lot of times wants to be like, it wasn't our fault. It was this person's job fault, even though they didn't have any issues before the accident. Was that any surprises there?
No surprises there. We had to go back, and luckily for us, she had just completed a big project a week before the accident, no pain, did everything correctly, knocked it out, and immediately after the accident, she could no longer complete those same duties, and trust me, she wanted to. That's the way her family eats.
Right. So, and that's what I try to tell people sometimes. They're like, you think my client voluntarily chose to quit working? I mean, like you say, that's how they eat, right? And I know if I don't go to work, nobody pays me. And my guess is the same for, I know the same for you, because if you don't come to work, I'm not paying you either.
Right.
And our clients aren't, but same for her, right?
Correct. She was trying to get back to work, and the pain wouldn't allow her.
Now, were you able to get this case resolved for her despite some of these issues?
Yeah, we were. We were able to get a policy limits on the case, $100,000 for a mixture of medical expenses and lost wages, actually.
So for anybody who doesn't know, policy limits offer means all the insurance, all the money that person had contracted with their insurance carrier, you were able to collect for her.
Correct, every penny.
And that sounds like a great result for her. How did she feel when you talked to her about it?
She was happy. She was pleased. Again, a lot of it was just missing time for work, lost wages, kind of getting behind on bills. So being able to give her lump sum settlement definitely helped.
Now, what would you say to any of our listeners who are involved in what on its face doesn't seem like a huge collision? What would you say?
Always go to the doctor. Contact us. Just never know what's underneath the car, what's underneath your body. It doesn't matter how hard you're hit with the damaged show. All it takes is one jerky movement. You going forward, you going back. That could affect your back, your neck, any part of your body. So always give us a call. Go to the doctor. Let the professionals kind of get under there, see what's really going on. Don't assume you're not hurt because it doesn't look bad.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say it sounds. I mean, my guess is she was also a tough worker, not really gonna complain.
Doesn't complain. Blue collar. 53 years old. Been doing just blue collar work all her life. It's kind of what she breathed. It took a lot for her even to pick up the phone and get help because she just wants to get out there and work and kind of provide for her family. So again, I would say, sometimes you got to put the pride aside a little bit. Give us a call. Let's make sure that you're all right. Get you to the doctor and let them check you out because you just never know. We can't base it on what the damage to the car says.
I'm sure you had some issues talking to her about even going to a medical doctor after the chiropractor because generally, I mean, like myself, I don't even like to go to the doctor, so I'd rather take Tylenol and take a Corona than I would go to the medical doctor. Yeah. My guess, I'm just going to assume she was probably similar if she's that hard,
That's correct, and I mean, obviously it worked out. If she didn't go to the doctor, we would have never figured out that she had those disc bulges and herniations in her back, which on their face can cause a lot of problems throughout the rest of her life if not treated.
Well, Darian, it sounds like she was super lucky to have you on the case. It sounds like it's a great thing. She didn't make a snap. You know what I mean? That you didn't make a snap decision and say, well, not a lot of damage to the car. You can't be hurt. I mean, when her pain didn't get better, you sent her to a medical doctor, which seems like definitely was the right call. She got an MRI, showed those issues. Sounds like you got a great result for a hardworking client, and I'm super happy she hired us and got you as her lawyer.
Absolutely.
All right, and for all of our listeners out there, hit like and subscribe down below for more client victories from Shane Smith Law and other tips and tricks for personal injury work. And remember, if you're in pain, call Shane 980-999-9999.
In pain, so I call Shane 980-999-9999. In pain, call Shane.